What's up, nerds? Welcome back to another episode of the Aggressively Average Anglers podcast. We are here to ruin fishing tonight. I'm just kidding. I did realize when I made that thumbnail, it kind of looks like Aggressively Average Anglers Live ruined fishing. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe for
Maybe they
somebody.
did.
I can guarantee you, based on the comments we get, I've definitely ruined fishing for some people.
Somebody out there is like, these
I'm
guys
too
ruined
short,
everything.
not good looking enough, talk too much on my video that I'm making.
Yep. I agree with
Yeah.
that. Oh, my favorite like all time is the unboxing comments where like we do an unboxing, we're like, look at these baits, and they're like, you could have done this video in 3 minutes. I'm like, I don't we could do that, I guess. But like we're not gonna look. I'll be like, you got this, you got a square bill, you got a spinner bait, you got a, and then end a video, right? I don't know. That's not fun for us. I don't want to do that. Anyways,
No one wants that.
what we do want to talk about tonight would be some hot topics that we see people making videos about. Mostly Randy's mad about, and other people too. But like a lot of people get mad about these topics, or they say like this thing, this insert blank, is ruining fishing. Because at first I was like, we could do a whole thing on forward-facing sonar. That's the hot topic. But there's so many other things out there that people claim are ruining fishing. So we're going to play Switzerland tonight. We're going to be neutral on this. We're going to throw a topic out there. What I want to hear from you guys in chat is, do you agree, yes, this is ruining fishing? Or do you disagree, no, this is absolutely not ruining fishing? And also, I would love to know why. Like if you say forward-facing sonar is ruining fishing, I want you to tell us your reasoning for that. And then we accept all arguments. And we want to talk about it a little bit. Also, what are you shattering? Your mics pick up so much noise. What are you opening? What are you doing? What are you doing there, guy?
It's a jig.
Okay.
And I'm opening it.
Nice. Are these Outcast jigs that you're playing around with?
No.
J Bros Lures. Oh, from was
the
that
Dark Horse?
Yeah. The Dark Horse. Got it. Chat was saying, Mike M says stop, and then I'm going with Jan Burgess.
Good guess.
Monster Can was a good guess.
So I hate everything about the setup tonight. I don't have the internet on my computer. Yes, it's my fault in this instance, but every other instance it's not, and I'm enraged. And now I have to do this on my phone with these headphones, which pick up everything, and I'll have to remember now to bring my work headphones, which don't do any of this, and everything's great.
You know what? We're playing with technology. Technology is definitely ruining this podcast.
I was about to say, I was going to say, what's ruining fishing for me is whatever problem I'm having with the internet. That is what's ruining fishing for me.
Oh, man, but it's entertaining for me. All right, let's get into it. We got a few news items we want to knock out really fast. First of all, we've already talked about this to death, so we're going to throw it out quick. Kayak Adventure Series, it's underway. I think Rud's been posting about it. Creek Fishing Adventures posting about it. They're doing the Shoaly Palooza, which is going on right now. So that's the first event. And then we've got a whole bunch of other events going on. But ours, the one I will be at in Whitehall, Michigan, June 7th, June 8th. So if you want to come hang out, love to have you. I will have my new kayak on this tournament, so I'm excited about that. And the Native Titan X has finally been delivered to a shop.
The best kayak ever made.
According to one commenter.
No questions asked. Why even make the other ones?
That's the marketing, dude. They just go, according to this commenter, and they just post like his @ and then it's just, this is the best kayak ever made. You should never buy an Old Town, only buy this. Like, I love that guy. I love his conviction on that, actually. Yeah, that's pretty flashy.
That's pretty freaking sick, actually.
We should definitely throw that this weekend. We are going to fish this weekend. We got to figure that out because I don't have all the kayak parts. I'm going to pick up the kayak on Saturday. My XI3 that I ordered is at the USPS because it's too big to deliver, so I have to go grab that. But I will not have the bow mount kit, and I will not have all the components I need to put it together. So I don't know. I'm going to play around with it. I might even put my sonar on it. We'll see. Mike M, 100%. Are you guys doing Knucklehead? We are not this year. It was an executive decision on our part. We got too many things going on. We got families, we got jobs, and we already have a bunch of fishing trips planned. So that one had to take a bench seat, unfortunately.
And we also already told Drew that we would work on the Kayak Adventure Series with him. And then we had some other stuff going on, including firing all our sponsors, which means we have no money, which means traveling all the way down south for 4 days gets to be a challenge.
Oh, you broke B. Just a
Correct.
couple of broke B's over here. Sorry,
That's
guys.
right.
No, we love you guys. We had a great experience with it, hanging out with everybody last year. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. And don't listen to Chad Hoover talk his trash. Like, we're not making Temu videos. I heard he said that on the podcast the other day. So like, they're too busy making Temu videos to do this thing. What a
Actually,
dweeb.
I am. That's right.
We got some orders coming. No, please no. We're not doing that. So anyways, there's an update on the kayak stuff. Paul's install is like halfway done. We didn't have everything we needed. We ordered a Yak Attack mount that didn't work because your screen was too big and heavy. So we had to get the new Catch console, which we're excited about. So we're going to put the new Catch console on his, rig it up, get all that stuff done. But we ran the steering lines for your NK 180 Pro from Newport. So that's going on soon. We ran transducer, battery, your Garmin's, all the Garmin stuff's like ready to rock. We just needed the new console for it. So it's like almost done. We're going to wrap up his Crescent Light Tackle 2 build here pretty soon.
It took like 5 hours.
It takes a long time, man. That's the thing is, you always like underestimate how long it takes to do a kayak install. You're like, dude, we were texting
2 hours in and out.
2 hours. We're gonna make 4 videos, and that did not happen.
No.
All right. Well, anyways, there's your news. Let's get to the Q of the D because I got some hot topics that I want to cover tonight. So Q of the D. And this is for you too, chat. You got to participate. Would you be more impressed with the person who can find all the fish for the day? Like, they're like, there's a fish right there. You should cast over there. And like, you cast and you catch. So this person's like calling them shots.
Or they're like, oh, we're going to go over to this spot. There's probably some fish here. And then you throw up the sonar and like, there they are.
There's fish. There's fish everywhere, right? So they're calling the spots. Or the person who is calling the bait. They're like, this is the bait for the day. Tie this on. Don't untie it ever again. You're going to catch everything on this. They like nail the action, the color, the technique, everything. And you're catching all. Yeah.
Black jig with a J-Bro Lures, super garlic scented creature.
So creature. What is more impressive? So what do you feel?
I think the spot. I think it's so much more impressive to call the spot, because like a lot of baits could work, and like even if you think you called it, it might not be. You know, like I think the number of times out of 10 that you actually call the bait is like 1, and then like the number of times you call something close to the bait, or like maybe the 5th best bait for the day, still works, but not the bait, is like 5 or 6 out of 10, right? The times that you're just like, the fish are all going to be right here and they're there, I feel like that's way more rare.
I'm going to enhance that one. I'm going to say, like, let's say you're like at the launch and they're like, all right, we're going to go to the north end of the lake and we're going to hit this rock pile, and you go there and you guys just bang them out like that. That idea of the spot caller, I'm on board with 100%. Way more impressed. Or like, you're not catching anything and they're like, tell you what, we're going to go to this point. And then you go to the point and you just crush.
Yeah, the person who's like, I bet, you know what, they're not here. I bet they're out deep. And then you go, and then there they are. You know what I mean?
This right here. So the Sinestral says a lot of baits work in the right spot. So if you can get on them fish, and not just those stragglers, those roamers, like you're calling that spot, it makes a big difference. So definitely more impressed with that.
I think that's also the difference between like the pros and non-pros.
Yeah, they're not wasting their time in unproductive spots. That's what it comes down to. All right, so let's get into the show meat, you guys. This is the agree, disagree, state your argument episode. So I'm going to try and call them out in chat when I see them, because Paul's on his phone, so he can't see it. So I'll try and pull them up. We'll talk to it again. We're going to try and stay neutral on this. We don't really feel super strongly one way or the other on any of these topics. People say, like, I hate forward-facing sonar. I'm like, that's cool. Like, that's fine. Like, it doesn't hurt me. I don't care. I didn't shaming my invention, so it does not matter to me in the slightest. Do I use it? Yes, and I like using it. So if you like try to rip it off my boat and throw it in the water, I might get mad. But if we can just let bygones be bygones and just go fish, that'd be great too. All right, so first topic, obviously we got to hit it right off the top. It's forward facing sonar. Chaz, up in chat. Let's get an agree, disagree. Do you agree, meaning you think forward-facing sonar is ruining our sport of fishing, or do you disagree and you feel it's fine? Like, just use it as another tool, enjoy fishing, just have a good time. And if other people use it and you don't, that's okay. Who cares? So I would love to hear this, because I do feel like social media becomes this like vacuum, right? Where it's like you get to that side of TikTok where everybody's like, I hate forward-facing sonar. And you're like, oh, everybody hates forward-facing sonar. But that's not a good sample size of the population. So I'd love to know where everybody in our chat is on this. And right now with 37 votes in, we got 30% to 70% agree, disagree. So most people disagree. It's not ruining the sport. Interesting. Boza IV, is that 4? I can't remember my Roman numerals. My dead numerical language. It kind of does hurt you, even if you don't use it. It hurts the lake. This is an interesting argument, and I would love to hear more about this. Talk to me about how it hurts the lake. I'm being curious here. I am not being facetious. I would love to know specific details. Do we have any like DNR stats or like your regulations? Does anybody come out with data on this?
Yeah, because I want to know, like, the argument that I think is interesting that people have made is like that it hurts fish populations. I cannot see how. Now, could fish be conditioned like when they hear that sonar that like baits are coming? Yeah, they're conditioned like that for motors and tons of other stuff. So I totally believe that, but I don't know how it's hurting fish populations. That's what I've not understood that argument.
Yeah.
And like people bring it up like it's the silver bullet, like, oh no, but it really hurts the fish pot. And I'm like, wait, what? How? Like we already blast them with sonar all day. And we do it all winter. We do it with live imaging all winter. The same exact technology.
I would say this is a great take, Brad Park. FFS didn't ruin fishing, but everyone bitching about it does.
That's totally fair. That actually is
so
like
negative.
Dude, yeah.
But again, if you have legitimate data, like you can pull data for me from a major lake, and you're like, since using forward-facing sonar, like fish populations have been absolutely demolished. Like that would get it removed. Like if we're destroying the lakes, like we as fishermen don't want to kill the population of the lake.
No.
If it legitimately is doing it, that gives you an argument. That gives you a platform to like stand on top of. So I don't know. I'm waiting for the data.
Somebody it's interesting because I think what happened is, and I hate to like, get political with it, but it's kind of like the Trump effect where like we made a corner of like the world that agrees that like, yes, it hurts forward facing sonar. And then the Randy Blockett's of the world like were like, I'm all in. I get massive views on these videos. How can I stop making them? Which hard to argue with, right? But I feel like that's what happened. And then we just kind of stoke the same fire constantly. And then there's like some people who are like, if you don't use forward-facing sonar, you're an idiot. And we're like, well, we don't need you.
That's not cool. That was
a little much. That was much. And then there's like this random, and then there's this like random sliver of people who are like, in my opinion, reasonable, who are like, it certainly is a useful tool. I don't use it all the time, but I use it sometimes, and I can't see why we wouldn't use it. But like the other thing too that I think is interesting is when people like ban it from tournaments, and I'm like, can you blame like Bassmaster or like Bass for not banning it? Because like all it has led to is bigger bags.
Giant bags.
Who's gonna be like, oh, what we should do is we should catch smaller fish for sure and less fish during the tournaments. That will make them way more fun.
I think I would argue it makes it more entertaining. We'll get to that argument in a second. I want to call out my boy Mainstream Fishing here. Catch and release is more harmful than FFS. I said it. If you guys watch if you guys watch Alex Rudd's channel, he recently hung out with a previous guest of our podcast as well, the aquatic biologist. And this guy was preaching facts. He's like, yes, take care of those fish, do that. But like harvesting is a necessary part of that ecosystem. Like some of those fish, they need to be taken. And the more that you educate yourself on that, the better you can actually help those fish populations. Like they can't all stay.
What he would say is he was like, learn what the average is for that lake. And once you start to understand what the average for that lake is, you can cull the fish that are never going to grow past the average because they don't have the genetics to do that. This is the same concept as QDM, quality deer management. When you have QDM, you entice people to take does and not just bucks, but you also
Right.
that because when you do that, you leave more food and forage for those bucks to eat and then get big. And so and then when you see like a buck that only gets to be like a spike and is maybe 2 or 3 years old, it's like, well, that deer's got to go. Like I want to
Yeah.
make more room for the other big deer and then let those big deer genetics get into all the does. And then eventually I'm going to have all my big deer genetics growing me big deer later on down the line. Same concept with the bass. Take the small
Yeah.
ones out, leave the big girls and the big boys in the lake, and that's what you're going to get whenever they reproduce.
Yep, 100%. So yeah, Steaky River Tom calls out, if there's any evidence of this ruining populations, wouldn't the DNR do something? 100%. Like, wouldn't it be outlawed? Wouldn't there be heavier regulations on it? Wouldn't they say you have to register your FFS system and like start,
Yes.
I don't know, tracking your catches and things like that? Yeah, I think they would, because if it's a danger to a natural resource, that's what they're going to do. So
Or
that,
they would make the companies change the technology. So what
yeah,
about the technology is hurting the fish, right? And if the idea is that you're just catching more fish, like that's not hurting the population.
no,
That's not hurting the fish. That's educating the fish, just like ducks get educated every year when they fly through and you blast them. They're like, well, I'm not
yeah,
going back there. Like, yeah, of course,
dude,
that happens. I totally agree with that, but that's not
yeah.
hurting the population or the fish.
Just look at tournament lakes, or like you got your favorite pond, but like some just absolute stick lives on it, and he's just every day bagging
Wrecking
huge
them.
fish.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna
Well,
be
like
fine, man.
think about it. Like Lake St. Clair gets
Yeah,
absolutely annihilated
annihilated.
all
Yeah,
year long. It doesn't hurt the fish.
yeah, yeah. No, 100%. So, all right, I want to put up a follow up vote, but real quick, let's see where this vote is. Charles, we could probably pull this. 68 votes in, 41 to 59%. Almost split, but not that close. Disagree wins. So most people in our chat are saying they
Close though.
disagree. Here's the follow-up vote. How many of you guys are using forward-facing sonar? I want to know, Chaz, let's go. Use forward-facing, like you use forward-facing sonar, or do not use forward-facing sonar. I just want to, not if you would or not.
That's a big part of it.
Do you currently use it? That is the question. That and I hit some of these chat comments. You guys are great.
So the reason that's so important though to think about, it's not like is your opinion valid or invalid? Because some of this you can have a very valid opinion without having used it. The reason the question's important is because a lot of people would say it immediately catches you fish. Like it immediately catches you fish. And I'm like,
Yep.
It's video game fishing. It's not, you don't even have to try. You just show up, flip it on, and you catch your fish. That is not the case. I've had it. This is year 3 going on forward-facing sonar. That is not the case. Now, what it does, the biggest benefit by far, is that it's unproductive water you're not fishing. That's what. So I would equate this to ice fishing because we've been using this in ice fishing for a long time. We have this exact same technology in ice fishing. We've been doing it for forever. What's the biggest benefit? You roll up to a spot, and when you're ice fishing, you have to drop. If you don't have sonar, you drop your lure to the bottom, and you wait to see if a fish bites.
You just figure
And
it
you
out.
just continue to wait. And if you don't catch fish, it's very possible that there's just nothing down there and nothing anywhere close to you, and you're just jigging into space. That sucks. And so once you get sonar, you drill your hole, you put the sonar down first, and then you just check to see if there's marks down there. Are there fish down there right now or not?
Yep.
That's what and it changes the game. We used to call it as a joke. We called the
Atari.
FSA, we
Atari
called it the
fishing.
Atari because that's exactly what it was, like 100%. But we were
Straight
using
up a video game.
we're using it to learn about what works and what doesn't work. We're using it to eliminate unproductive water. And then we're using it to figure out like, okay, how big are the fish? And like, should I be targeting any of these? Or are these bait fish and is there a pike coming in later? Like, is there grass on the bottom? Like all the stuff that you normally do, but now you have a tool that's just better at giving you that information.
It's instant feedback. That's what Tree Hunter 1 called out. FFS is instant feedback, as is Vexillar or Markham or whatever brand.
Exact same thing.
Instantaneous
it's identical
feedback.
They even look the same.
Yep.
They look the same. When you get them on a screen, they even look the same. So it's just, I don't know. I'm not saying it's not helpful, but it's not an immediate fish catch.
What you're suggesting is we should also ban Vexillar usage on the water.
If you banned Vexillar, I think you would have single-handedly killed ice fishing.
If it's not already dead.
Without using traps. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's already dead to us in Michigan because we've had 3 seasons with next to no ice.
Yeah, Chevy killed those for us.
Like I would love to get back out on the hard water. But yeah, Vexillar, if that's the same thing, should we not everybody calling for banning forward-facing
Well,
sonar.
that's what I'm saying. That's how
they probably don't
where,
ice fish. They don't
where
care.
I'm like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we
Yeah.
know it doesn't hurt the fish population because we've been using it for a long time, and
Yep.
it doesn't at all.
Yeah. So, Jason, we're talking flashers. Yep. Vexilar, Marcom, whatever brand of flasher you use. It's instant feedback. So it's basically the same thing. Just saying. So right now in chat, 89% of our chat does not use forward-facing sonar. Now, this is interesting because with almost the same number of votes here, you guys, we're at 67. It's going to be 68 in a second. Same number of votes. It's now 90-10. 90% doesn't use forward-facing sonar, and yet they also disagree it's not ruining the sport. That's an interesting take. This is actual data that people could use. Now, it's not a big enough sample size, but this is something that you could use to make an educated argument, something that some people on the internet don't like to make. They just like to yell and scream and be mad. Just saying. So,
I think what's also crazy about this one is how extreme the response was. Like, we argue about we get comments even that are where people argue about like, is this real good or bad? Should you use fluoro or mono? Like, and it's all kind of like, sometimes it gets heated, but it's kind of chill. It's like, yeah, we're just arguing about fishing because we're buttholes and we're just doing what we do. But like in this instance, we suck. and so, but with this, people are enraged. People are like,
oh, furious.
Oh, really? And it's like, we're going now. And you're like,
you're a cheater.
Exactly. It's like, best. Whoa, why? Why is this so vehement?
So an interesting thing, I'll throw a little tidbit here. I'll throw at you guys. Chaz, we can pull that. We're at 75 votes. 89% do not use forward-facing sonar.
Which kayak should this go on? That's the real
Smalley
question.
Bomb. It should go, or is that like supposed to be a muskie? That's a Smalley, right? Red eyes.
It's a Smalley missile.
Yeah. The Smalley missile. Crescent. Put on the
Crescent.
You think
so?
Because it's the fast one. It's your fast boat. You got your Newport. Bro, you're the Smalley missile. I love it.
Trying to think of which one I'm going to catch more Smalley missiles with, though.
Not on that. Your Sholey is the Smalley missile.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Well, no. If you go to St. Clair with your Newport.
That's true.
Crescent.
Oh my God.
Crescent.
All right.
Hang on. Chat. We're going to vote. Which kayak, Chaz, I'm serious. Which kayak should Paul put this sticker on? Should it be his Crescent Light Tackle 2, which has the the Newport NK 180, or his Old Town, the PDL 106, or his Crescent Sholey? 3 options, Chaz. Throw them up while I hit.
Can we do 3 options?
Sure, why not? Yeah, it's a vote. We've done it before.
Oh, what's the first one?
All right.
What does
Old Town? Just do the brands. Old Town, Crescent, or Crescent. Oh, okay. Old Town.
That's what I was asking.
The Crescent,
Old Town, Sholey, or LT2.
Yeah, the Light Tackle 2, the Sholey, or the Old Town. Those are the 3. Great question, Chaz. Glad you asked me. So yeah, like ultimately coming back to forward-facing sonar, the interesting thing is you and I have not been using it for like the whole season and the end of last season. Like not used it at all. We're still having banger days. I mean, how many 4 and 5 pounders have we caught this year? Well, I'll say not quite.
I already caught not a 5, but I've caught more 3 pounders than maybe all of last year.
More 3s and 4s, which for us, where we're fishing, just these little
good size fish. That's a good size fish.
Those are good size fish for us. So we're stoked about it, and we're not having a problem finding numbers either. So it's interesting. I don't think we all need to be so pissed about it because I still don't see any lake data, any data from DNR.
I would have killed to have it when we were on the lake for BFS Day, where we took a break from BFS, and I just was like, randomly, let's go throw the glide at that grass.
Oh, yeah.
I missed 2 fish,
and
I saw, and they came up and were swiping at it. I would have paid so much money to know what that fish was doing before and then after, because, and I almost guarantee you that some of those other casts had fish nearby that I just didn't know were there. That would have been nice.
Yep. No, 100%. That would have been amazing because we both missed on swim baits, different kinds too. You had a glide, and I had the Baca burrito, like a silicone swim bait. So,
and I actually had one. Yeah. I just was watching the footage, organizing it for when I edit it tomorrow. I had one on rod bent over and everything.
So I had that earlier with the Raptor, the microglide for BFS. Same thing. Ate it, spit it, and I was like, how?
But
Two trebles.
how are you spitting a glide?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
Point is, we was getting wrecked. But we also had a banger day.
Yeah.
Because there was some cool catches in that one.
That's gonna be a fun video. So that one comes out not this Friday, but next Friday. And we went out and we fished BFS glides, BFS chatterbaits, and we
one
wrecked
jig.
them.
Did you get the jig catch in there? Or are you going to delete it and not?
I got it. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I even marked my footage that has me talking about it before you caught it.
Oh, you're like, yo, it's only.
We're going to go. It'll go back and forth. Yeah.
I love that. And I was like, wait, never give up.
Hold, please. Hold my BFS rig.
I had it on deck. I was ready to rock. All right. So can we put a nail in the coffin of this FFS thing? Can we say that we ended the war on FFS here on Trip? I'm kidding. Of course we didn't.
No, Randy's still making videos.
Randy is still making videos, and people on the internet are.
It is calmed down though. Thank God. Like it really has calmed down a lot, and we don't need to talk about it, which is really nice because it was not. I did not enjoy the FFS. Like rage party that the world went through.
All right, so I'm calling this out, so I'm not ignoring you. Dig Works says you need to go back and check out the Bass After Dark with Milliken and Block It. So Milliken actually had some data. Okay, I will look at this. You guys, we're Switzerland. I'm neutral. If it's destroying the environment, let's figure it out and let's fix it. But I will do Bass After Dark with good boy Randy. All right, so we'll go check that out.
You know what all I can think of is Family Guy when he's like, Randy, and then he like gets pantsed in the bathroom. He's like, Randy, and like all this horrible things happen because of Randy. That's all I can think about.
Wow.
Wow. You don't remember that episode?
No, it's probably burned in my like deep recessed memories.
Yeah, I was gonna say your reptilian brain's holding on to it, but not coughing it up.
You know when you're like mowing the lawn and then you're like, remember that episode of Family Guy?
When you're
it'll be like that.
You're mowing the lawn.
All right, of course. So I'm gonna put this argument to bed for tonight. We can move on to the bed where
love going to the bed with it.
Will live for the rest of its life. For tonight, we'll go check it out. And yeah, we'll see what is going on there. Randy's just trying to get paid. Randy is the Batman of fishing. Is, though. Stay out of Gotham.
He is that guy.
Stay out of Gotham.
That guy. Oh my God. That guy has the easiest TikTok job.
Stay off of Gotham Lake.
He's like, well, that sounds pretty nice.
Randy sees somebody post their new kayak build. They're like, so I got 2 dual screen forward facing sonar. I'm excited. And then Randy cuts in with a stitch and he's like, stay off of Gotham Lake.
Yeah. What lakes does he fish? Like,
dude, I don't know. Doesn't he tell everybody exactly what spot to fish on those lakes? Isn't that, it's like FFS, Randy FFS. Yeah. I don't know. Sam, all right. So this is probably the most fair argument I can come up with for this is like, let's say you're in like a fun kayak league, right? And you don't have the expendable income to get forward-facing sonar on your boat, but like 9 out of 10 folks in your league are using it. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, this sucks, because like I would just get it and I would use it. Maybe you're not against the idea, the concept, but like you're not putting it on your boat. That's frustrating. It's like you don't have all the tools that are available. You can't even use them. And all
like no one gets mad when someone's got an Ultrex and goes by.
Don't you get mad?
See what I'm saying? Like
you can be mad. Like it's just you can't go on the internet and be like, well, get rid of it. Like that can't be
exactly. No one's like, oh well, you know, get rid of. Okay, best example. And look, stratification within fishing when it comes to money is huge, and I do not like that. So yes, I agree. Everyone should have the same tools, but everyone has access to the same tools, and that's the thing. It's like, what?
Digworks came back with the data for us, but the lakes Milliken got info on concluded that fish population and quality of fish actually increased after use of FFS by a decent amount of anglers over a year.
Seems odd.
That's interesting data.
Yeah, I don't even know, and it's hard to tell if it was just because of that, but
Is that
it
conclusive?
at
Is that a
least
correlate,
no,
or
it's
a
not. Yeah,
cause?
because that lake could have been on a come up. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or
Right.
or that lake could have gotten tested because people were catching big fish on it because they had forward-facing sonar when no one was catching fish on it beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
and then the data looked better because then they went into anyways. It didn't go the other way, so that's a plus for the
It
FFS
has to
folks, I
be,
guess.
if it's any sort of study like that, it has to be a multi-year study,
Yeah.
multi-seasons. You got to have all the factors accounted for.
Yeah. But we've not seen a decline. No one's like, hey, look, Red Crest or wherever, it's a
gone.
disaster. Like there's no fish
Yeah.
there anymore because people are using for like there's nothing like that out there.
Yep. Yeah. Stop even playing this field of nonsense. Everyone does have access to it. Totally correct, Mike. It's just going to come down to, are they going to spend their money on that, or are they actually struggling to pay rent and they're not going to spend their money on that?
Well, that's the and like but like to I guess back to that point, it's like I don't like I don't like stratification when it comes to money, but it already exists. Like when you go to a derby, right? There's always a guy who's got two 10-inch, 12-inch screens on the front of his boat, and everyone else has one Lowrance unit at the console. Like that's not new. That's been like it's been that way for it will always be that way. It's just that it is what it is. Like kayak fishing's probably even worse. A guy who can afford a motor and he's in a field of people who can't, like he has a
just
huge advantage. Yeah, just shredding like, hey, see you losers. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, okay, that sucks. It is what it is. I just have to outfish them.
So the facts of this are: is it accessible to everybody? If you include the cost of it, no, not really. Like, could everyone buy it if money was not the issue?
Yes,
of course.
Could everyone use it if they could afford it? Yes.
Yeah, everybody could use it. Everybody could, purchase it if money was.
But like, you go to a shooting competition, guys have like the nicest gun available. Do you get mad at them for buying the nicest gun? You might be upset that you can't, and I would be too. I'd be like, damn, that sucks. But like, if he beats you, it's like, well, it was the rifle. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's interesting. It goes a bunch of different ways. I think at the end of the day, fish how you want to fish. 505 says Milliken's take is BS. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a 1 year, like we said, it has to be a multi-year. So I'm not taking that as fact. I would love to just see over the years if this changes. It'll be interesting to see like some actual data come out on this.
Agreed.
But yeah, anyways. And then, Stinky River Tom, there's always that fishy old guy that beats everyone out with nothing but an ugly stick. Let's go. 100%. No forfeit. This guy doesn't need it. Like, he speaks to the fun ugly stick story. When we were doing Paul's install, we took my ultralight ugly stick and we had to run the steering line. The Crescent light tackle has no midsection like opening, so there's no like hatch there.
There's no way for you to guide it through yourself.
No possible way. And it has like the stability rails and
pillars.
So you have to go around on the outside of the kayak with that. So we took the ugly stick and we just ran it through the kayak to reach to the front. Ugly stick,
twice.
No damage. No damage. Not a single eye on that bent. So
gladiator rod
thing. I don't even think we filmed that part, Paul. So we're gonna have to cut that in later and talk about it. I'm gonna remember that. But anyways, all right. Let's go to the next thing. What else has ruined fishing? We did the hottest topic right now. I'm curious about this one. I've seen this. This is a bad take in comments, but it's like, is YouTube? Are YouTubers ruining fishing?
YouTubers
agree or disagree? Do you agree that YouTubers are ruining fishing? I can't talk tonight, dude. Fishing? Or do you disagree? They are not ruining.
There's way better chance that YouTubers are ruining fishing than there's a chance that forward-facing sonar is ruining fishing.
Hot take in comparison.
I would pick YouTubers every day of the week, and it's not necessarily YouTubers.
Sure.
It's really like the industry, because they've turned us into like sales bots.
Oh yeah.
But like, people are that way too, and so like, it's kind of our fault. Like, if we weren't so like, I need to have the newest thing to catch a fish, like I wouldn't have to make those videos because they wouldn't be successful, and I'm not figuring out like, oh, people like watching these, so I'm gonna make them. But I think like is capitalism ruining fishing? 100%. 100%.
Oh, well, I mean, because it's the same as TikTok. Like, what did TikTok turn into like in the past 12 months? It turned into everybody's pitching everything. You're scrolling, and then like somebody you thought told a joke that was funny one time is selling you a necklace selfie thing. Like, everybody's doing a commercial. They had to like make up new rules for sponsored posts. It has
God,
to
I
say
really love
sponsored.
fishing. Check out my pants. They're $49.99. I might. Okay.
You think you're watching a video and then it's a commercial, and that was the time that we canceled all our sponsors. And we were like, we want to be on the other side of this. I don't want to be a part of this. It's definitely interesting. A few of you guys are saying in chat right now, like some specifically, Alley Cat says some YouTubers are ruining fishing. They don't have to name names.
Yes, you do.
Out them, and we'll drag their names through the mud. Okay,
no,
cool.
I want to know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, they're just infomercials selling us things that we don't need. Hard agree. You know, and I'll be honest, like we've taken a hard look at our content. We're like, okay, from last year, before canceling the sponsors and even after that, we're like, are we just fishing too many of like bougie only things or like one specific brand? And that's when we're like, okay, well, if we cut brands, we can use whatever we want. And then I think we should be more self-conscious about like the price range of the things that we are looking at. You know, for example, we love punch fishing. Punch fishing loves bougie stuff. He admits to it. He says, this is what I do. And that's he's owning that content. We love him for it. And for us, like we found if we're fishing only like from a Hobie Pro Angler 360, that's like a $6,000 kayak now. Does that make any sense for our audience? Probably not. A lot of you guys bank fish. A lot of you guys don't use forward-facing sonar. So we don't want to use that all the time. So for us, we've got a couple different kayaks, some with sonar, some without, one with forward-facing, but we're not going to use it all the time. Some pedals, some different motor options. And we try to make a point of saying, like, you don't have to get any of this. Like, you just don't. Do we like it? Yes. Are we going to talk about it? Absolutely. Because we like it. And when you like something, sometimes you talk about it.
Yeah.
If you like a company and you want them to get some attention, you talk about them, you know, and that's all we want to do now. But we also want to, and I don't want to let you go. Sorry. I just want to say, we also have moved towards budget things. So I just want you guys to know there are $600 in budget reels and rods in my basement right now, waiting to be filmed. We got a bunch of spinning reels, under $50. We got a bunch of bait casters. We got this brand Handing.
We took all the brands and all the stuff that you guys were interested in, and we bought what we thought made the most sense. So we went for it.
Yeah. All right. So what was your take? As I was
no, that's all I was gonna say is like, I mean, we're right in the middle of just like trying to, you know, make sure that you guys are getting what you want, and what you want is not always going to be a commercial about the nicest thing available.
Yep. Oh. Ewy2K, I love the name. Ewy2K says no one or nothing can ruin fishing for me. YouTubers are no different from fishing TV shows. They're both commercials. Hard agree. Like I would say some, and definitely not all. Like we try not to be. I know we talk about stuff. There are other amazing creators out there that do not fish anything. Like has never done a commercial. He is mule fishing. He fishes that. That's what he does. But he's not like, you have to get this. And he's not selling like anything else, just as an example. But yeah, there are some that definitely are. It's like everything's a commercial. All their shorts are commercials, and they're for like non-fishing things. And I'm like, why are we talking about this here? And then also fishing TV shows like have always been
the worst.
This episode is sponsored by Lowrance.
They set the stage for YouTube. Now, to be fair, and this is the same for TV, they can't make that show
without
the money from sponsors. They just can't do it. Period.
Yeah.
The money is not there. It's too expensive.
Absolutely. I would say also, this is a pretty good take. YouTubers provide information, not always correct. Great point to point out. Some learn and some don't, and then some correct it and some never do. Right. But it does show off new equipment and lures and things like that. Maybe you would never have known about before. Right. Also brings more people together. I would say the ones that are doing it right, they do that. They create a community. Maybe do events, maybe invite people out. But yeah, there are also a lot of people that are really good at educating. Like I look at, Tactical Bassin, for example, or
Bass Fishing HQ,
Luke Master, Bass Fishing HQ. Like I have learned from those guys. You have learned from those guys, and I feel like they're really good at educating. Belat, now he has like a paid.
Belat's my favorite. He is my absolute favorite personality in fishing. And when I mean everybody, I mean everybody. That dude is doing. If I could do it like him, I would do it like him.
Oh yeah, 100%. So yeah, some I would say some are doing it right, some are doing it wrong. Chat,
who's doing it wrong, Jeff?
We're doing it the worst.
Who else is doing it wrong?
Everybody.
Names
that I know.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought.
You know who's the absolute worst?
Yeah, tell me.
No, I won't. In confidence later, I'll tell you. So chat says 78 votes in. Disagree. YouTubers not ruining
nice.
fishing. Look at that.
As they're on a YouTube channel right now. So
it was a 78, like whatever, 22% split. So it's pretty good odds. I don't know. If it was like all agree, I would delete the channel right now.
No, I enjoy making the videos, and no, that's not true. Yeah. But I enjoy making the videos, but also like honestly, the fact that it's turned into more like of a vlog scenario where it's like I love that the way that some of that stuff is going, because it's way more fun. And I agree, like you do kind of get into this like, yeah, we have like our own little corner of the internet where we get to hang out, and it's pretty fun.
Absolutely. And we've met a lot of great creators out there. Yes. One that I would love to meet one day is ND Yak Angler. Like FPS Fool calls this out. He never hawks anything. Hard agree. Dude still puts out videos where he's fishing just with like a piece of chicken or like a big duck lure he's had for 38 years. Like, love that guy. And he's so chill. How is he so chill all the time?
I don't know. It's hard to be chill and be good at YouTube too.
Right?
It's very crushes. It's rare. Some people are just better at life. He's on way up. He's probably in the YouTube Hall of Fame.
Like, I want to meet this person. Like, if I saw him at ICAST, I'd be like, yo.
Like, and that list is very, very short for me. Like, it's so short. I'll go out of my way to not meet people at like ICAST.
Well, the first ICAST we were at, who was at the booth, Plano booth with us, and we walked away.
Oh yeah. Well, and then it happened, it happened like 5 or 6 times last year where we were with the guys at Bait Fest. They're like, oh, that's so and so, and I was like,
Tactical Bassin.
You're right. There were five YouTubers at that Cashin booth.
Yep.
All of them were 10 times bigger than us. Some of them were 30 or 50 times bigger than us. And I was like, I don't, honestly, frankly, do not care. I mean, great for them, but like, I have no interest. Like, I'm not interested.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. All right. So that was fun. Let's go to another one. We already covered like the influencer marketing, YouTube kind of side of things. How do we feel about pro staff? This is an interesting one. Do we feel like pro staffing, meaning they're hawking something and they're not even making money for it. Like, but they feel so attached to this brand that they have to do that. And then there's some brands who have thousands of pro staffers, like an insane amount. So you feel like it's smeared all over the place.
It is.
Like, what's going on? So this is kind of like the YouTube influencer marketing piece, but I want to take it like a step further because it's a little different. Not all these guys have
it is different.
Huge
but it's also
channels.
Like I think it's hard because sometimes I know that sometimes that's someone's only way to start. And that's actually how we started too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because
sometimes you got to take that deal.
It's kind of like an internship.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
It is kind of, but like at the same time, I think everyone sort of started to recognize that model like did not work, and they don't do it anymore. And it used to be pro staffers were sort of what we think of as like a lot of YouTubers are now,
like sponsorship separate.
Yes, and they were going to the booths, like they were going to trade shows, they were helping set up, they really knew the product. A lot of the guys guys and gals that you see now are just like, yeah, I got my free sunglasses, I'm gonna make videos on this till I die.
Yeah. No, and like maybe they're not the best, and like, are we getting an honest opinion from this
100%
person?
not. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just gets worse as they climb the sponsorship ladder, and now they're getting paid like a good amount of money, so then they feel indebted to that business, and they have to say it's good. And sometimes that company puts out something that's trash, and everybody knows it, and they're like, "No, it's great, I swear," and that's where it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's ruining fishing, but I don't think it's great. But I also like
Yeah.
it kind of needs to exist in some ways.
Mhm.
Like it kind of has to be there.
Something has to be there. Like to be fair, like these companies are putting everything they own into a business to try and get off the ground. Some of them, not big ones, are exempt from this, but like say it's a smaller company. Like I can't pay you, Paul, but I would love for you to fish my baits if you like them. I send you some baits and you're like, these are neat, and you post a video about it. I'm like, hey, could I send you more?
Yes.
And you could talk about it more. And like that's the handshake agreement kind of deal. And it's like, I'll send you stuff if you do this. It's when it becomes like
to stop you before you go to where it's bad. I actually think that could be real. That can be really good with the right people.
Yeah.
Like
only talk about it if you like
that's
it.
Actually what we are doing.
So Navarre, for example, Navarre says, I'm going to send you all these kayak fishing parts for your old towns. If you guys like them, talk about it. You do not have to like just blast it as a commercial. I don't want that, he said. So I love companies like that. We really don't accept free things from companies that don't talk like that. We get emails every single day, and sometimes we mess with them. Like Temu kept messaging
$10,000 for a video. Sign me up.
If they paid $10K, we would have done it, but
100%.
They didn't.
Just to cheat the system.
They offered $100.
And we said, no, thank you.
Not close.
Just multiply that times 100 and we can talk.
Oh, man. All right. So, chat, where are we at on this? 61 votes in. We disagree, but this is our tightest margin. 59% disagree, 41% agree.
Oh,
Pro
my
staff
God.
is ruining fishing.
Fair enough.
I think we hit the points of that, though. It's just like if you're pushing something, you don't really care. You're just happy you got a free thing and you just want to push it. That's a problem. I think we all just need to recognize that. If you're a YouTuber, an influencer, a pro staff, or whatever, like push the stuff that works, man. Push the stuff you actually like. That's okay to push. That's when it's okay to kind of do a commercial. Like it's a good thing, high quality, lower company on the marketing spectrum. Like they're not out there that much.
But that's the only way you can make a battle baits. It's the only way you can build like a small like a mule fishing.
Like
that's the only way you can it's the only way you can do it. And also those people are how like you test stuff. We do that for people a lot to say like, hey, give me feedback on
I love that.
Kayak thing X, or hey, will you check out this bait? Is it good? And a lot of times I go, yeah, it's pretty good. It's doing what you want it to do. But I mean, there's one little thing, and that's how you get to like a product that was like basically tailor-made for you because you guys are us.
Yep. Yeah. No, so this is an example is we're working with a guy trying to create a cool new kayak crate. And like we haven't posted anything really about it. I think I posted one picture because he asked me to, like, hey, if you like it, you can post about it. And I was like, all right. Because it's like not even out there yet. So I was like, I really like this thing. Like, can I even put this out there? And he was like, yeah, it's fine. But like, we're testing some of the stuff that he's 3D printing. We're breaking it, like literally breaking it
instantly.
We send him a video and we're like, here's the problem. And then I make a recommendation based on like usage. I'm like, hey, it'd be cool if you did this. And this guy's listening and he's doing the thing. And like, that's what you want to see. That's cool. And then, Chinook Crespa. Yes, this is exactly an influencer influences. There is good faith influencing and there is bad faith influencing. And that is where we draw the line. That's where the problem occurs, where like we're pushing this cheap piece of garbage on TikTok to get your $3 in commission. That isn't cool. That's bad faith. So I think it's
the inability to say that you don't like something. That's where or your inability to be able to talk about anything else. Like at that point, they've bought you. That's where I'm kind of like, I don't know.
One thing that reminds me of, I did come across, there's some accounts that just do this. They take those free offers that you and I delete, and they get the thing, and then they like absolutely lambaste it. They're just like, so I saw this guy do it with a knife. So he got a knife. And he was just bashing it. And he was like, this is cheap garbage. Like, look at this. This is ridiculous. And he just like breaks the hilt. And he's like, don't ever buy this. I love that. That's great. Unless he worked for another knife company and he's just smear campaigning. It's like, you've probably seen this on TikTok. It's trash. Check this one out. And then I
have this other one also on TikTok. I am the owner of this company. Yeah.
It's genius. No one will ever figure
this one's smart. This one dumb.
They're doing bad. What? All right. Let's go to another one. Pro staff was fun. Is our gimmick, and what we made a scam video that got some attention, and it's been fun. But like, we made the how to identify scams in fishing. Are these what we deemed scam, or what you might think of as gimmick baits? Think skitter lizard. On a spectrum of skitter lizard, so we literally made a chart based on
to the stutter step.
To the stutter step. So are these types of baits that companies are just pumping out there like it's the coolest thing, and like it doesn't even work? Are these
And charging you a bunch?
$14 for a skitter lizard. You're gonna tell me that's not ruining fish?
That's like what makes my eye twitch, you know?
It does. When I saw that price. So agree or disagree? Do you agree that gimmick baits are ruining
This
fishing?
might be the only one that I actually agree with.
They're not ruining fishing.
No, they are. I think that this is
You're
like the only one
Switzerland, bro. We're neutral.
No,
Shush.
no. I'm joining the
opinions.
effort. I'm crossing the Alps.
We can't even stay neutral on this.
Not on this one. This one,
No.
I do think that this actually, and this isn't going to like really ruin fishing, but for me, this does ruin my perception of fishing. I hate this part of it.
This is bothersome when you look at a bait and you're like, okay, somebody in design was like, yo, what if?
What if we took the turtle, put a stinger hook on it, and 2 sparklers on the back?
It's when what if goes too far. What if is good?
We didn't stop to think whether or not we should.
What if has changed the world? Like, people who say what if have changed the world. And there is good faith what ifs and bad faith what ifs.
13 fishing, good faith what ifs.
Sure.
Junker
they're
hunt.
Like, they're 70,
bad faith what ifs.
Junker hunt is 1090. Like,
yeah.
13 fishing has some misses. Don't get me wrong. They have some misses, but they've had less misses.
But the misses are like, they're good concepts. The concepts are like, this was a legit, it's a great idea. Yeah. It's a good idea. And it's not that it doesn't work. It's just, we don't need it.
We don't need it.
They didn't fully refine it. We didn't need it. It's not perfect. And so we don't need to make another one. But it's a good faith idea. It is. It's a good idea.
Rob calling out the robot lure. Here's where this becomes predatory, right? Like, if you go to Temu, one of the top things you're going to see is a robot fishing lure, and it's going to have 50 billion 5-star reviews. They're all fake. So it becomes predatory. Amazon's just as bad. When you see those, and like, I get it, buying an inexpensive lure on Temu or Amazon, you could save some money. I totally get the economics of this. That said, this is not that. This is a robot lure that spins in circles and will not catch you anything. So like, and you have to charge it like Frankenstein. You just do alligator clips.
But like, the fact that this does bonkers. I do not like this one.
Yeah. This is off topic, but the topic. Keaton Lightfoot, pick the dice soft plastic. Looks stupid, but works. And it's also $25.
Look, and I'm not advocating for anyone buying stuff that's that expensive, but like, the idea is good. And like, we need people to mess around. Like, I'm cool with, I love what comes over from Japan, and not like, their ideas are different than ours because they think about fishing differently. I love that. I appreciate it. Same goes for anywhere else, right? When people grab stuff from saltwater and drag it over, I'm like, boom, let's go. Like, that's how we get the super high-end hooks, like the one you were just talking about. Like, I think it's genius.
So when we do iCast this year, we got to have it's one or two things, right? So it's innovative or it's tomfoolery. And we're going to call it is this innovation or tomfoolery? But before you get to your next point, I want to call this out because I just had $1 billion collab idea with Janoi. Janoi, we're going to make this live scope robot. It's an RC boat that has live scope. And like, it wirelessly communicates to your head unit. And you drive it around the lake, you scan the whole lake. And then you can be the guy from the Q of the D who calls the spot because
I know where the fish are.
Your RC boat found them.
So let's do this. When people bought the adapters for the Garmin units for ice fishing, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
You could drill 6 holes instead of 600, and you can map the whole lake.
100%.
Never even got a chance to do it.
But nobody's talking about banning that. Like, we're cool with that. This dude mapped the whole lake picked out 5 schools, and you go murder them, and then you go home. This guy's not the problem. I think we got an issue there. So interesting. All right, so do gimmick baits ruin fishing? 62% agree they do. You guys are mostly on our side. And like, hey, I get it. There's go to 13 fishing. We said I said 70-30. 70% hits, 30% not hits.
But hits or misses, I don't know if it has to be a hit or a miss. I think that
the concept of creating gimmick baits,
the idea was like, no, the idea was there. It's just like it's not done yet, or it wasn't good enough. Like there's a huge difference between so let's just use the Pathfinder, because it's like if you guys don't know what the Pathfinder is, it's like the back half of it is soft, kind of like a frog, but it's a pencil shape. And the front of it is a hard bait. So it walks like a walking bait, but you can throw it in the pads, and it has a hookup ratio similar to a frog. So it's supposed to be like a walking bait, a pathfinder, to make a path through junky grass and, big lily pads.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. It walks really well, actually. And I fished it, and it fished fine through the pads. Now, the hookup ratio kind of sucks because it's so gosh darn long, but the idea was
it's
there.
A frog
like
hook
the
too.
Concept is it's a good idea, but they haven't made 3 of them. They're not charging a bunch of money for it. They dropped the retail. They're just getting rid of them because they're like, yeah, people don't love it. Fine, get rid of it. Like that to me is totally fine. I have no problem with that.
On Amazon, it's $18.
we bought Amazon's
this
different. I got this for $5.
We got this for $5, you guys. So don't spend $18 on this right now, even if it looks neat.
No, that's Amazon. That's not okay, by the way.
Yeah. Amazon has become a problem in the past 3 years. Like you used to be able to go on there and you'd be like Senko kit, and you get like 30 worms, a whole bunch of hooks and that stuff, and it'd be like $10. That same kit is now $25 or $30. Like I'm not buying from Amazon.
I don't know that that's Amazon's problem, but yes.
No, but you can get that because it's go-to lures. They are on Temu for like $10 to $15. So not the same.
But they're playing loopholes. There's taxes that they don't pay. So they're literally scamming this. So that's the problem. That's why they make so much money and why they can charge so much less. And eventually, when that loophole gets closed, Temu will disappear.
Yep. Is Temu ruining fishing? Agree or disagree?
It's not ruining fishing.
All right, I'm kidding. I don't want to talk about that right Jaws, don't put the poll up. All right. Let's pick. Well, you don't have your notes in front of you, right?
I have one, unless you have some other good ones.
I got a couple other good ones, but you throw one out.
Is expensive gear and baits ruining fishing?
Is expensive is the push of brands like Shimano making a poison rod, right? For example, is the NRX and like the likes, right? Steez,
Mega Bass, but Steez is even more expensive. Yeah, 100%.
Well, you can get one of the Steez options, one of the models, isn't it like $800?
Yes.
$799. So our expensive reels, rods, things like that, Mega Bass putting out, $25 jerk bait. Is this ruining fishing?
Can I make the case? Can I make the case?
Agree. Yeah, go for it.
Can I make the case? Let me make the case for it. Because someone might say, it's just nice stuff. And if someone wants nice things and they want to overpay, let them overpay. Here's where I have a problem. The $25 jerkbait has turned jerkbaits from a $7 item to a $15 to $18 item.
The average is now $14.
The average is now way up. Fishing rods, when there's a $600 rod and you put one at $350, people are like, I don't know. And they're like, yo, we didn't need that. Yeah. Now, I like innovation, and yes, you have to pay for innovation. So it's 100%. It's not perfect, but a poison rod for $900 or whatever the Adrena is, like $1,100, that is
I don't get it.
You could argue that is ruining fishing because it is going to stratify even more and stretches all the prices out. And now there are people making good value. There's a ton of them, right? Like, and we're going to showcase some of it for you guys. And we've already looked at some stuff and we were like, yo, this is a deal. Like this, I want to tell people about this $80, bait cast or whatever. But I don't necessarily love like the Steezes being $600 and people being fine paying for it. I don't love that.
Okay, but do you feel to Mason and Denver's dad. Mason and Denver's dad. That is a great username.
Good names.
Lamborghini is ruining cars.
It's a good point.
I think
is it making my Silverado $20,000 more expensive? Because if it is, then yes.
I don't think it is, because what if the gap is so disparate, like it doesn't actually play into the game? So the poison has nothing to do with the cost of like normal rods, is what he's saying, and I agree with that. Yeah, I think it's when.
But is the Sierra High Country ruining?
The Sierra High Country is not ruining.
$60,000 truck, or now it's probably $80,000 truck,
and it makes sense for some people, man. If you're a general contractor,
I'm not
and
saying
you got to chill in that truck.
I'm sorry, but you do not need that. Nobody needs that.
Nobody needs anything, bro. Like, you're putting a motor on your kayak. You don't need
it. 100%. And is that ruining kayak fishing? I don't know.
I just played that. Oh, that's a good one. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But also,
no. It's 100. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I think you can make an argument.
And in this category, we could include kayaks as well. So you look at like the Hobie Pro Angler 360 being $6K. Does that have a negative impact on the rest of the kayak market?
How many kayaks after the Hobie 360 came out that are over $4,000? Now some of that's just the market,
E-pedal,
but way more.
The Old Town E-pedal is $6,000. When so you guys, here's our perspective, not knowing the cost. Saw this boat, used this boat. I'm talking about the E-pedal kayak from Old Town. We got in it, we used it at ICAST. We're like, this is sick. I love this.
You can hear me being upset. Yeah. In the video when
he goes, we go, how much? And
I'm like, what's the retail? $6K, and it was just pause.
We were like, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Move on.
What?
I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And I love my Old Town. I love Old Town in general. Ride or die. Legitimately, I think they make a great boat. But
we ended up connecting with them, and we were like, hey, could we work with these here? Work out some kayaks. We'll do some content. Blah blah blah. Because it's a kayak.
Well, with one of the marketing company.
Yeah, we talked to the marketing team, and they're like, all right, so we're pushing the e-pedal. We were like, we're not.
And I'm not going to do it.
We were like, our audience will not buy the e-pedal.
They're like, do you want one? You might have to wait a while. I was like, do not want one. Don't care. Have zero interest.
Send us something else. We'll be like, we'll use
I asked for the 106 because it's the cheapest one they make in a pedal, and it's the highest value.
And I got a paddle kayak. So get the ones that we're going to use the most, and then that'll be better than if we get the
I'm not pushing a
nobody wants
kayak.
Yeah.
And look, now I'm not going to build I'm going to calculate the total cost of the Crescent. I actually have a running list, Jeff.
Oh, good. Yep.
And we're going to talk about it because that kayak only costs $1,200.
The Light Tackle 2, it's $11.99 or something like that.
Crazy. Yep. So even with forward-facing sonar on a motor, it's still cheaper than a stock Hobie.
Yeah,
that's wild.
100%. And yeah, so this is my brother Brandon, by the way. So that goes for any brand, fishing or not. You get brands that mark the price way up, and then there are other brands with super cheap prices. Sure, so it's kind of different in any industry. 100% agree. It's up to the individual to decide what they like. Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's where this goes beyond, is just having expensive things like good or bad. It's somebody said it earlier. I forgot the comment, so I apologize. But they said like it's when people become elitist about it. And the funny thing about the elitism is that elitism goes across the board. It's not just like the Poison Ultra user who's like, I'm so elitist about this. It's also the guy who buys only Temu lures and somehow is like elitist about that. He's like, why would you ever do that? Just get it on Temu. We get absolutely dumped on when we talk about stuff like that. We go up the middle and we talk about like the SLX-A, $100, right? And then somebody will come in and dump on us because they're like, just buy it overseas, AliExpress. You can get it for half the price. We're like, okay, cool. I don't buy things that way. I'm not that comfortable with that. You like it that way, great. Or they'll say like, I got the Mattel Masters from Temu and it's the best reel I've ever used. And while I've used it, I'm like, hard disagree. What are you talking about? Thanks, Chaz. Can't not do this. Why?
Oh, this is the full.
This is the 14-minute version, Chaz. Get out
This
of
is
here.
the director's cut of the Temu video.
Anyway, so elitists are across the board. Like they're like, I only buy at the dollar store. It's like, cool, if that's what you want to do. The problem becomes when you try to tell everybody else that if they don't only shop at Temu, they're an idiot.
Let's be honest, the only thing that's going to ruin fishing is people.
There it is. All right, so next up, people. Do you agree people are ruining fishing?
100%.
Or do you disagree?
You can't even argue it.
I've seen this comment so many times tonight in chat where people are like, the only way to ruin fishing is when people ruin fishing. Like you choose to ruin it for yourself and others. So I want to know, chat, where are we at? Oh, and to cap off the previous one, does expensive gear baits ruin fishing? Chat was hard disagree. 75% disagree. 24% agree. So I mean, I'm kind of on that side too. I'm like, does having, the Lamborghini ruining cars, for example, that's a great example. I think if it's that far apart, maybe a different universe, like it has nothing to do with everything else. It's the closer stuff that does. And it does, like the Megabass $25 jerkbait, but like that absolutely has to have had something to do with.
I think, well, like how many have showed up now? And what's the the standard price is 15 to 17 bucks.
Yeah,
it used to be 7.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like I did used to buy a lot of jerkbaits for like $7-10, but not anymore. No. So right now, 58 votes in, 83% agree people are ruining fishing.
You get it. What's the only thing that ruins it? What's the people?
How is it not here's the question. How is it not 100%? Because the only thing that can ruin it is things driven by people. People are the only thing.
We're ruining the planet. We're playing the long game to ruin fishing.
Oh, we are in it for the long haul.
I'm
DeBurley AAA on the Snorlax crew. Appreciate you, DeBurley. I'm ruining fishing for all of you other slackers. Big Lever Gang takes no prisoners. Hard agree. Love the discussion tonight. Awesome. We're having fun with this too, man. This is a blast. Chaz, you take it down. Don't let me click those buttons. Why do you let me do that? I would also argue, Paul, maybe you agree with this, maybe you don't. People ruin everything.
Yeah, they do. People suck.
You guys know when you go somewhere and then like there's people there?
It's a horrible place.
And then you want to leave. we feel that way about it so much.
Sorry, I had to let the pup in. She was bashing my door.
With her head? Just like ramming that thing?
Damn. The old gal wanted to come in.
Your dog's nuts. All right, so let's pull this one. Hey, puppers. Abby girl.
Yeah.
Abby girl.
Look at her. She's so happy.
Her little blanket.
Oh, no.
All right, so capped off that vote. Chaz, I love how you wrote this. Does people ruin fishing?
Oh, God.
Does people ruin fishing?
Fair enough.
Agree. It was 78%, 21%. Hard agree from everyone in chat. So that actually covered one of my topics, which was haters. I would say it's fair to say haters ruin everything that they're involved in.
You know what's crazy is I know in our comment section there's 4 haters that I'm going to get on almost every video. And I know every time they leave a comment, it's never going to be positive.
Yep. Never, ever is. And yet they keep commenting on every video. So thank you for your participation in the algorithm system. We appreciate you. Keep getting us that interaction. All right. Should we do BFS? This is one of the hottest topics on our channel for some reason.
So weird. I don't understand this one at all.
Last vote, and then we're going to some slow rolling thunder fun on the way out. All right. So do you agree BFS fishing? I actually have a potential bonus one. But do you agree that BFS fishing is ruining fishing? The concept of BFS, bait finesse system we're talking about here, ultralight bait casters. Or do you disagree? Because you go to any one of our BFS videos, you guys want to have some fun? Go in the comment section of our BFS videos, and it is a blasty blast. You're either getting ridiculed because you don't even need bait casters, you just need spinning reels.
That's the that is the coldest take.
It is so cool. They're like, I will use my ugly stick, Shakespeare combo as intended, as Walmart intended for the rest of my life. And I'm like, that's great, man. Like that's great. It's just not an argument against baitcasters.
It's factually incorrect.
Oh man, it's interesting. We get that. I also love like the fishing line conspiracies. I told you about that post I saw, the fluorocarbon conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like a meme and like fishing companies trying to make some money, essentially. Let's make a new line that's more brittle, doesn't stretch,
Stop it.
and is 3 times the cost. Great stuff.
Is it 3 times the cost?
No. It's not, at least what we buy isn't. I mean,
No.
Sure, it's definitely more expensive on average than monofilament or copolymer line. But not, I don't know.
By the way, copolymer sucks.
Whoa. Hot take for copolymer lovers in here.
It's not a I'm okay. What I'm doing is I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it. There's like a sliver, like a black something in my thumb. It's been there for like 3 weeks. I'm trying to cut it out.
That's like classic you. If I get a sliver, it's immediately revoked privileges of my premises. It is removed. Like I don't.
You never get one when it's stuck in there. You never get one where you get it and you don't realize that you've had it, and then all of a sudden you're like in a meeting somewhere and you're like, oh, what's that?
Paul's sliver. It's just
you
like
ever get one in a
dagger.
callus? You never get one. There's like you have it in a callus, so you don't even feel it.
You got like a 3-inch metal shaving just sticking out of your finger.
This thing is way longer than I thought it was.
That's absurd. If you guys haven't been watching the podcast for long, Paul likes to do these things. He either picks apart his shirt decals, like or he does it.
I gotta go through my calluses.
He shaved his calluses on a live. Like he should reserve this stuff for our OnlyFans account, but he won't. It doesn't make any sense.
Look, I don't care about the revenue. All right.
You know, stop it.
I need to cut it out. It's the only way I can get it. There's there's a ridge of skin that I can slice through.
Okay, here's what I want to know. Chat, sound off. How many of you guys had a grandfather, a grandpapa, who had a nail clipper, not only owned a nail clipper and kept it on his person at all times, but would randomly clip his nails? Like just, you could be anywhere and you're at a restaurant, you're at Denny's, right?
Yeah.
And Papa,
like, you know, it's a good time for right now. I'll cut my
clipping his nails. I know I'm not alone. My grandpa used to do that. It was the grossest stuff.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And my brother's in here like, we did. Yes, exactly. My grandpa used to do that every freaking where. So bad.
That is a horror show.
We're not alone. A few people have this, all right? So it's just weird. Joshua Simonson, my dad. Oh, no. People getting called out. Oh,
hey, man, that thing's in there.
All right. Well, apparently Paul needs to do surgery, so we need to move to slow rolling thunder. So let's pull this one. Is BFS ruining fishing? We didn't even talk about this topic because we just disagree. But so did you guys. 83% disagree. Is it ruining fishing? No, it's not. So knock it off, you guys. It's just fun. What do we always say? We're not like, you have to do this. That's the point I guess we're making if we're making any point tonight. And we don't usually make points because we're not good at it. But if we make a point tonight, it's that you can fish how you want to fish unless somebody has DNR data for me that says forward-facing sonar is destroying our lakes, in which case I will fold and have to sell mine, or it will become illegal. Fish how you want to fish. Don't bother other people about it, man. Don't tell them they're like doing something wrong. Like when we got our Old Towns and homie was like Tight Nexus, the only kayak.
You sit here getting one.
Shut up. That's not the point. He wins. I know. I caved. I'm sorry. We're going to find
the
out.
irony was he was like wrecking us, and we were like, the whole time we're like total Titan
I'll get it.
X fanboys. We were like, those are dope. Big fan. And he's like, no. Like,
I know, well, that's my fit. And you agree and you offer a compromise, and they're like, yeah, you're dumb. No.
Yeah, right, loser.
My point was you're supposed to be mad. Like I had an argument with a guy the other day. He was like, you can get reels for $12. And I was like, he sure can. And he was like, he said, I think you guys are disingenuous and scummy for talking about something that costs $100.
We were called scummy.
Yeah, we were. I haven't been called scummy, I think, in my entire life until now. So
yeah, my mom called me scummy.
Wow. Are we going deep tonight? Like, are you
yeah.
We're gonna
deep into this thumb.
And Paul, how did that make you feel?
I subbed.
Okay, got it. Tell me more. That was ridiculous. All right, let's get into some slow rolling thunder. All right.
I'm ready.
Number one, Paul. Worse to break a paddle on the river or to break a prop on your pedal drive?
I thought about this.
Did you? We've done both these things.
Yeah, both these
We have done both of these things. So
I think.
Remember the scenarios. What was worse for you?
I think it's a slight edge, very slight. To pedal is breaking the pedal system is worse.
Having done this, both of these things, I can tell you breaking the pedal system's worse. Because like, especially if you mainly just use the pedal system and you're not like paddling all the time, or worst case, you don't even have a paddle on you and the prop breaks, or in my case, the Hobie Mirage fins bend, and then they don't work. That is problematic.
Then you go on the
it's more expensive.
The thing that sucks about it, the thing that well,
it can be. Actually, I take that back. But, bending. Remember when you lost your Bending Branches $325 paddle out of your truck?
No, I don't recall.
Did that hurt worse or
financially? Yes, I think that's the problem with the what makes the river slightly better, and this is slightly, not much, is that the river is actually carrying you, so you get the benefit, and you just can kind of kick your way around, and you can survive. Or if you have a drag chain, you can just go down the middle pretty much. So you have options, but the amount of work that is entailed in paddling a pedal kayak exclusively sucks.
Oh, it's terrible.
And you're never gonna. Well, I say never. You broke it right at the ramp, so you're the only person that's ever done this. When you break a pedal, you're
always a mile away. You're
so far against the wind. Remember, that's what happened to my Hobie when it finally bit it. I was on and the wind was howling, and I was on the other side of the lake. That was horrific.
Yeah, it took us a long time to get you back.
Because I was like,
I think I had you grab my kayak for a small period of time there. But yeah, you're right. Like when my drive broke in Alabama, which ended up being a $350 repair, by the way, you guys. And then I sold my kayak. I had to pay that, and then the next day to kayak over to a new owner. But yeah, it was stuck. It's a known issue. The belt gets stuck on the 360 drive, and then all you can do is concentric circles until you end up at home base. So we had to do that.
It cost me $750 to get a new drive.
Yeah, that's true.
To then give it to somebody else.
So to tackle not X, you are correct. It is more expensive in most cases like that, I would say. If it's just a prop, it's expensive in terms of it sucks for your time that day. But like replacing the prop only on a pedal drive is not that bad.
And most people aren't running $300 paddles, but
you need to not touch your headphones.
Oh, sorry.
You were just like
sorry. So, I was just trying to adjust it. A little uncomfortable there.
RIP to my headphone users in chat. I apologize.
I am sorry. I am.
That was great.
Don't make me do it.
What were you saying, by the way? What were you saying? You had an important point? What were you saying?
Most people aren't running $350 paddles, so most people are probably just running $60, plastic paddles. But still, ugh.
Yep. No. Yeah, if you run the big expensive paddles, like you're
well, and our paddles are middle of the road.
Yeah, those aren't even the most. I mean, they get
not even
more
close.
Expensive
Carbon fiber
lighter,
paddle.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yep, 100%. All right. What is your favorite midnight, late night hot snack?
Has to be hot.
You have to. And honestly, not ice cream, not Ben and Jerry's.
No. So it can't be it can't be like goldfish. It's got to be like, there has to be at least 2 preparation steps. Chips and cheese, top notch. Option. Anything in the air fryer. Did you ever air fry the Uncrustable?
I've toasted it, but air fryer would be way better.
Yeah, one time I was 10,000 feet I was 80-20, and I took a
I got
yeah,
you. Okay.
and I made a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Sure.
Put some foil underneath, slammed that thing in the old toaster oven, and oh my God.
There's some good ones in chat. Microwave burritos. Great option.
God, the frozen ones, but there's no preparation.
The way I used to hammer Jose Olays, you guys.
That's 5% of my DNA. Okay, that's 5% of my DNA. Okay, dude. We always joke about how oh, my kids are eating like raspberries every single day. Like they eat really good. Like you guys have no idea the trash. I would take those Jose Olays. I would microwave 6 of them. That's half a bag. They come in 12 packs. I would take half of them. I would microwave 3 of them at once. That takes 9 minutes. Okay. I would dunk those in hot sauce exclusively while the other 3 were heating up, and then the other 3 I would dip in microwaved cheese sauce. That's
I don't know how you're
like
alive.
3 pounds of garbage that just is wrapped like a burrito. There's like one bean in every single frozen thing total.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So Brandon, whole sleeves of Chips Ahoy.
That's room temp, bro. That's room temp.
Hang on. Mrs. Fields cookies. Microwaved.
Get out of here, dude. No.
I'm just trying to find a middle ground here, all right? No, microwave burritos is good. Paul's discussing. Hard agree, Brandon. Hard agree. I've been saying this for years.
I've been saying this for years. Why will no one listen to me?
Did you say that? I've seen popcorn on here a whole bunch.
Chips and cheese should be on everyone's list. If we're pretending like we haven't done chips and cheese, let's stop. You're not better than us.
We could just call it nachos, right? Like, I don't understand.
They're not the same thing. Nachos has more than cheese as a topping. These are not chips and cheese is a very specific thing.
Hang on. Where is this defined? Is there a
There's a reason we have the term chips and cheese.
I've never used that term once. Chat.
So
am I crazy?
All is talking about, well, Jeff, you're talking about gas station nachos, which is just cheese and chips.
I would never talk about that.
Well, that's the normal term. Paul is talking about like.
Why would I ever talk about it?
When Paul says nachos, he's talking like jalapenos.
I never said nachos. I'm saying chips and cheese.
Yeah, I know.
Chips with shredded cheese melted on top, correct? We're talking about the same thing, but you're suggesting to me that my whole life has been lived in the wrong lane because I thought you could just call chips and cheese nachos. And you are in fact saying that you cannot do that.
That's exactly right. You got it. Okay, good. Next.
Wow.
Thing as well.
What has just happened in my life?
It's not the same. Okay, let's ask Chad. Are chips and cheese nachos? Yes or no?
Chaz just said no. He agrees with you.
He's saying, ask Chad.
Oh, chat. I thought you said Chad. Chat. No. Further crush my soul. Further crush my soul right now. I don't know if this is a play on chips and cheese, but like plain Lays and string cheese is an interesting take.
That sounds horrible.
Chips and cheese.
Oh, you know what?
I don't think that sounds horrible. I would eat that.
Really? I'll do it tonight.
I don't think he means combine them, but does he?
Oh, I thought we were melting.
Imagine this. You take a bag of just plain Lays, right?
Yeah.
Which is 100% crumbs. There are no whole chips in this bag because
there's 4.
There's 4 whole chips. You got to get them
and they're this big. You have to be like, and you take a bite and the whole thing disassembles itself.
You take the string cheese, right? And you just like dice little circles, little cylinders, right? And you put them on each of the Lay's chips.
No.
I'm just trying to figure out how Maroon's Moron consumes chips and cheese. I want to know. But all right. So apparently, our chips and cheese nachos agree is only at 31%. My whole world is this way now. You guys have destroyed my soul.
You just found out Santa's not real a second time.
Hang on. I'm sorry. Shut up. What did you just say? Did you just tell me that Santa's not real?
Oh my God.
I hope my kids don't watch my lives. At least not till the end.
Sobbing upstairs.
Just come down. They're wrecked. They're ruined. They can't survive.
Oh my god. So what is Jeff? What is yours?
So air fryer for sure. I got these mini tacos from Sam's Club, and they're phenomenal. So I'll just slap them in that air fryer, and then I make a little dish of the green, not verde salsa. This is guacamole salsa.
Oh yeah.
From what is it, Verdes or something in the whatever.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
International food aisle. Get the guacamole salsa.
Meyer.
I crush that stuff. It's like what you get with Peruvian chicken, like that little green sauce. It's kind of like that. I'm after that. But I make a little bit of that, extra hot sauce in it, some salsa, and just that's got to be my favorite. It's like
damn, that's a good one.
Or like, when you go through the deep freezer and you're like, oh, jalapeno poppers.
Dude,
and you're like, I'm having these right now.
So I just buy extra chicken tenders all the time.
All the tendies. Yep.
Like every time I go, if there's a half bag open at home, I buy a whole new one and I will empty the other bag. Because nothing can beat hot chicken. And sometimes I'll grab like a random seasoning, like I have a Nashville hot seasoning. I'll put that inside of ranch, and then that'll be my dip.
That sounds exquisite.
Exquisite.
It sounds exquisite. I would love to enjoy that. Also, we're getting wrecked in chat right now because you forgot some people do kind of watch this with their kids. So I want everybody to know, if you're watching, that was a bit. Santa is.
It was a bit. Like the kid's gonna know. Oh, okay. Well, it's a bit.
Shut up. It was a bit. You know how kids know about bits, right? Like everybody has a bit. It's a small comedic thing that you do with the people that you love. All right, we love you guys. We did a bit. I'm sorry.
It's a bit.
Santa's
it's a bit.
real. Shut up.
No,
Shut up.
Guy with the red coat's a bit.
Stop. Stop. This is where you stop. Oh man, I'm gonna give you one more chance. I'm gonna give you one more. Harry Potter is real. Everybody knows that. Obviously.
Expelliarmus.
Also it's Herdez. Sorry.
Herdez. And they do.
Herdez.
I know. Their red salsa. Yeah, their red salsa is underrated.
Their stuff is so good. I love it. Oh God. Did I just see if birds aren't real?
The birds aren't real.
How much?
How far has this gone? This has gone too far.
Oh,
gone too far.
Man.
Your mom's a bit. It's
too much.
What's sad is that it's true.
It's so true. Woo, okay, so let's do this last question. We're gonna roll out. We've been crushing it tonight. It's 9:43.
I broke one child's heart, and now
that Manny Clips is a member. Manny Clips has the right to put you in timeout. You are timed out. Chaz, ban him. Boot. I'm kidding. I need him for this. No, put him back. What if he actually banned you?
Look, I gotta poop. All right, ban me. Okay.
Can you ban me real quick? How long?
Just give me a 5-minute ban. 7-minute, 8-minute ban.
Let's be real.
10-minute ban.
Minutes. You got it.
11-minute ban.
All right.
Okay.
Last thing. Last question. Chad, I want to hear from you guys too. We're not voting on Santa. We're not voting. I just saw some stats in there. 80-20. Like, bro, we're not. No, we're not. I draw the line right there.
80-20.
Santa's 80-20. This is a fishing podcast. What has happened here?
God.
Okay. Joshua, never. We don't even.
What are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Paul doesn't even drink.
I don't.
All right. So, number 3, last slow rolling thunder. We're out of here. I promise. What was your most disappointing fishing purchase?
Oh,
you guys in chat. I want to know.
I like this one. I came up with this one.
You bought a fishing item. Don't care what it is. Could be a boat, kayak, fishing rod, reel, lure, whatever. Could be fishing line. I don't care. What was the most disappointing fishing purchase you made? Tell us in chat. I'll post some of these. We'll pin them up on the screen. Paul, what is yours?
I don't know. I was like racking my brain, like trying to come up with like.
Can I throw a caveat at you?
Yeah.
Maybe you have an answer. I'll say, do we mean disappointing as in immediately disappointing, or within
Just in the long haul? Either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think too
much Max said tonight. It's true. You guys should see us on an unboxing video. Like when we're filming, I'm like, Paul, sniff this. Like slowly, our minds deteriorate. Okay.
Yeah. 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 If you think the burritos are ruining me, the Max scent is definitely taking a toll. So I would say,
ooh, mega bass rod. I see.
Almost everything from Chase Baits.
Ooh, good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, and then also the Plano spinnerbait box.
Okay.
$50.
You know
what? I may. Sorry to interrupt. I may have a comeback. I have an idea for the spinnerbait box.
How to use it? Yeah.
Take everything out of it, because you can take the middle divider out, and then it's kind of just like a waterproof catch-all. Maybe it's worth it.
Maybe. I don't know. Tackle Not X says this is about to devolve into a Hobie bashing session.
No, I don't regret my purchase at all. I loved that boat for a long time. It changed the way that I would fish and think about kayaks entirely.
Was I mad that it eventually broke? Absolutely. 1000%, and justifiably so.
I'm just mad that it didn't last as long as I wanted it to.
That's why we were mad. Like I could have used that boat forever if I could have just relied on that dang drive. And even the XR wasn't that much. I want to go to deeper in a second, but real quick on the Hobie, we already said our piece on it. I was thinking about this today. The first video we had when we got them, we like vlogged driving to go get them. Yeah. We, in the intro of the video, popped champagne because we were so happy and proud of ourselves and excited. So no, I don't think I can use that for the regretted purchase here. Because again, I'm with you. Like, would it, if it had lasted forever, I would have been so happy, but I have zero faith. I lost all faith in it and I couldn't use it again. That's what happened.
Well, and if I could have just like sent it in the drive, even for like $200 and had them fix it.
If Hobie would just take care of you. That's the problem. Disappointed in the company.
Just pooped itself.
The boat was really cool. But anyways, all right. Robot lure, same thing. I bought the robot lure on Amazon. Did it for a video. Did it on purpose for a video, kind of as a gag. I was like, this will be BS. Something other than go in a very tight circle. Like I was disappointed with that.
But like
deeper sonar, castable sonar. Some of them work, some of them don't.
I'm curious to hear more about that, because I still think deeper is like a great idea. Concept is really good.
I had the deeper chirp. Somebody sent it to us. Didn't have an issue with it. I used the Garmin Smart Bobber or whatever, and I used the iBobber. The deeper I like the most, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. That's disappointing. All the lures I lost on the first cast, bro, jackhammers. Like I've been so disappointed with jackhammer. The Hangover, that's the most recent one. I lost the Hangover on like 10 minutes in.
Fifth cast,
disappointed because I actually was getting it to swim right, and I was like, is everybody wrong? And I was gonna make a video and like
4 minutes later
wrong, and then I lost it. And it's like $20. Is it 20 or 25? Is it 30?
I think it's like $30.
Okay, well, I was disappointed because it's $30 too. Spider wire, same thing.
That's a good. So I was gonna
first braid I ever bought, dude.
I was gonna go right there. So spider wire and like tons of different mono, I've been so disappointed by.
Yep.
And I know that some people like live and die by K9 line, but like I never liked what I got that much. Yeah. But you know, I don't know that much, and I didn't know that much at the time. I will
great in 2002.
And a lot of people would disagree with me.
It's $20, by the way. Got it. Still hurts.
Oh, there you go. Still, ow. A lot of people are going to be really mad that I say this, because I think a lot of people really like these. But bro, the American Hero combos and like the Dick's Sporting Goods combos in general.
Sure.
The Stratus by Okuma was pretty good, and that actually was what led me to being like, oh, we should check out Okuma, like after they reached out to us. But those combos suck. The bait casting ones specifically.
Yeah.
Not worth the money.
No. I would say for some people they like it. Again, it depends.
Look, if that's the top of your price range, then you got to do what you got to do. But I would I would send people to the Ugly Stick, and the Abu Garcia, 10 times out of 10.
I would agree. There's better options at near that price range. And then I was going to say, on the note of stuff like that, the 13 fishing descent combo that I had for ice fishing.
You're so right. All of them, every one.
We were pumped to try it out. It was like one of my first combos.
Oh God,
I hated it.
I only ended up with one, and it's in my garage sale.
Oh yeah, slick burn here from Rocca. Monster bass box.
There. Actually, that was going to be one of our subscription boxes ruining fishing.
Oh, it's not too late. Chaz, throw it up in chat. Agree or disagree? Are fishing subscription boxes ruining fishing? I don't know. It depends. I think we called it out in the video that we made about these, actually. We were like, there are, and some of the Dark Horse videos is like, there's some boxes out there where people are putting out a box, but they actually fish. They listen to subscribers. They make changes that benefit subscribers. Like, I would love to see more of that. Dark Horse does that. I've had great experiences with Monster Bass, and I'm not trying to sit here and knock Monster
I have
Bass,
too. There was about a year and a half straight where they were just hitting home runs.
Yeah, exactly. 6 cents. When they send me a lanyard, I'm like, I'm out. This sucks. Why are we doing this? I'd rather have lures. And when they send me a million of the same lures, that's problematic. And it's a great way we always say, get it for 3 months. Like, and most people agreed with that in that video.
That's what it comes down to, is get it for a while. Get it for 3 months. Drop it.
It gives you a chance to try a bunch of their lures. So I think it should only be in 3-month intervals. But there are other subscription boxes out there where, like, the company, nobody there does fish. They have no idea what they're talking about. And they're just throwing random stuff into this box. Like, why is this here? Nothing pairs up. The colors don't make sense. You guys saw our Lucky Tackle box, dude. That was straight garbage.
It's sort of like when Dell makes a gaming PC. Like, they do it to sell based off the stats, and then, but like, you could go and you could go.
Crap.
It's not good. It's not that good. But like, stats wise, it looks fine because somebody who doesn't know computers is like building that for people who do know computers, and that does not work out well.
Yeah. So there you go. It's I think Chad agrees with us right now, actually. Well, we didn't make a point. So I think Chad is saying, though, that they disagree our fishing subscription box is ruining fishing. I agree with Chad. I don't think it's ruining fishing. I think that there are, like with anything else, there's going to be a few predatory folks in there that are just like, I don't know, this sounds easy, throw it together. Like, I yelled at a guy on TikTok one time. He got mad and like ripped me in his comments or whatever, because he was starting that. But all he was doing is buying bulk lures from like AliExpress. And then he was pricing his box at $30 when he spent 2 cents on these lures, and they were just rando lures. And I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
And that's somebody who just doesn't understand fishing.
I don't know. The guy could fish. He could. Really.
Then it's even worse.
It's worse because he knows what he's doing.
Because he knows those are trash. It's not that he was buying them cheap and selling them expensive. That's not the problem. That's that you have to do that. That's not the problem. The problem is that guy was buying garbage and marketing it like it was gold, and then selling it at gold price. And it's like, that should be
criminal, actually. Like, 100%. It's super bad. So in those cases, I'd say, like, with anything tonight, there's always like these scenarios where, like, I could see this being a problem, I could see that being a problem, right? And that's why we tried to stay neutral on it. But I mean, we hit a lot of hot topics, a lot of fun things. I don't think I answered. Did I answer disappointing purchases? I guess I said a few of them. The Lowrance hook, the first one I got. Yours is better. The reveal.
It's crazy because I love mine.
Yeah, mine's
running so strong with the FPV battery that I bought 5 years ago.
Remember, mine was
humming.
You can't forget, I called mine Lauren. Lauren cannot find fish. She cannot find the fish. She does not do well with it.
Yeah, that thing sucked. Your unit sucked. Mine for $350. I've got 4 or 5 years out of that thing, and it is solid. And I have the smallest, dinkiest, shittiest one out there.
And mine could tell you how the water temperature was.
I have the split shot. I don't even have side imaging.
Yeah, but yours was still like a heck of a lot better. You could tell side by side. Crazy.
I'm beating the crap out of it constantly.
Yep. All right. So end of the day, you guys, we voted on a lot of fun things. You guys gave your opinions. We talked about ours a little bit. We had some fun. Isn't this fun how you can banter and everybody can be polite and like enjoy conversation? Moral of the story is let people fish how they want to fish. You fish how you want to fish and just be kind to other folks. Oregon Smalljaw says, no, but boxes are such a gimmick. I would agree in circumstances for sure. Like in these days, with the boxes, we did the math. You're saving like $4 or $5 sometimes. It's like insane. So I don't know. Topic for another day. Point is, we had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. Hopefully, you had fun as well. And Paul's going to keep working on his slivers. And
I gotta get this thing out of here. It's driving me nuts.
I will keep you guys updated on if Paul gets the sliver out or not later on. But thank you.
Did we ever figure out what boat this is supposed to be on?
It was your Crescent Shoaly.
All right.
Right, Chaz? It was a Shoaly. Yeah, you're right. We kind of just flew on by that. I'm pretty sure it was the Shoaly meant for stealthily attacking in the river.
All right. The torpedo launcher.
Chaz is scrolling back. There was a lot of chat going on, so we'll find it later. I voted it was the Shoaly. We'll figure it out. Thanks for hanging out with us again tonight, you guys, and we will see you again next Wednesday for another fun live. And that time, Paul won't have a splinter, probably.
We don't know.
Will he? You'll have to tune in next week and find out. Thanks for watching. Chaz, take us out of here.